We all know the famous show Blue's Clues, but what you probably didn't know is that it was built on a web of lies. At the end of season 1 of Blue's Clues, Steve and Blue are introduced to Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper's baby girl Paprika. As we all know, paprika is a spice made from dried and ground red pepper. The key word pepper shows the connection to Mrs. Pepper, but where's the connection to Mr. Salt? As we all know, a child's DNA comes from both parents, a 50-50 split if you will, which begs the question, why is paprika red? Mr. Salt is a Caucasian cis white male, and yet paprika doesn't strike a resemblance to him at all. But you know who Paprika does look like? Mr. Pale. That's right, Mrs. Pepper clearly had an affair with Mr. Pale. Now before we shame Mrs. Pepper for her disgusting behavior as a wife, mother, and devout Catholic, let's remember one thing. We don't know the details of their marriage. For all we know, Mr. Salt could be fully aware of the adultery because he's a cuck. This theory is further supported by Mr. Pale's presence at Paprika's birth. As we can see from the clip, Mrs. Pepper is excited when Mr. Pale shows up, and Mr. Salt doesn't seem bothered at all. This working theory checks out because Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper stay married and even go on to have more children together. Despite the harmony between the three, there are signs of resentment from Mr. Salt. Here we can see Mr. Salt splashing orange juice into Mrs. Pepper's eyes, potentially blinding her. But hey, what marriage is perfect? Comment below your favorite Blue's Clues conspiracy theories. Thanks guys, see you in the next one.